вышло. Прости.
Here is $2,000 worth of rods, folks. Maybe not quite MSRP, but if you include shipping from Japan, then you go over 2,000. We're gonna have to make this video from my kitchen because I didn't like, for these beautiful blanks, I didn't like the background of my brown table. You couldn't see any detail. Also, you might overhear my fridge over here, but what to do? Have plenty of lights coming from the ceiling. You're gonna see those reflected here on the surface, but no complaints because I promise you this is the best I have in the house. The rest of the surfaces in my house will not give these blanks any justice whatsoever. Also, this video will be only on the table review. I already fished these rods a little bit, but I'm gonna do another review that I will record from my boat, and I'll give you fishing impressions in a video that I will record in my boat. Okay, these are the rods we are reviewing today, folks. This is the 2021 SHIMANO Soare XR, and I have two of them. The one on the right, you can see it's much longer. This is the 7'6" tubular tip, and this is ultralight power. The one on the left is 6 foot solid tip, and it's super ultralight power. I got the 7'6" first, thinking that I'm gonna use it for float fishing, but the action wasn't exactly what I wanted for float fishing. So, but I loved the rod so much, so I immediately ordered the super ultralight, and this one will be a keeper. To tell you the truth, I already fished this one a little bit. Once I fished it, it was not that bad. I already found a subscriber who wants to buy it, but now I'm thinking, let me fish it a little more. I don't even know if I want to sell it anymore. It's really not that bad once you fish it. Folks, I'm gonna tell you right away, these rods are an absolute piece of art. Yes, I have not seen all the rods in the world because there is so much high-end stuff. It's really hard to see. But I'm just like you, browsing every day for new models. And I gotta tell you, from everything that I've seen online and in person I have not seen much, but I have seen some. I've seen about 10 high-end rods so far, which is, I know some of you have seen more than that, but just so you know where I'm coming from. I gotta tell you, from everything that I've seen online so far, this is the most beautiful rod in the world right now. There is nothing that's really close to it in terms of just looking like a piece of art and just looking like jewelry. I don't know, tell me which rod you think looks as nice as this. Especially since all of these exotic rods look exactly the same. I mean, these are 3 different rods, they all look exactly the same. Because these brands, they don't make anything, they make the blank if something at all, but They all buy the same guides from Fuji. They all buy the same reel seats from Fuji. They can mess with the cork a little bit, customize very little on the margins, but at the end they look very similar. Only Daiwa and Shimano make their own reel seats, they make their own butts, they make their own guides, and they stand out. And that's why it's impossible to copy Daiwa and Shimano. You can huff and you can puff, but you ain't never gonna copy this rod. Okay, here are the butts of the rods. Gosh damn it, I never thought I would see the butt of a rod look good enough for a thumbnail. But you tell me if the butt of this rod, the Batman, doesn't look good enough for a thumbnail. I mean, the rod starts looking like a jewelry from the butt. Now Shimano says yada yada, increased sensitivity, monocoque butt, one piece. I'm not gonna comment on that. How can I tell you if the butt increases sensitivity? Seems like one of these propositions that are impossible to confirm or reject. So in that way, they're pretty safe. So I'm not going to comment anymore on that. But in terms of design, my gosh, it looks like something custom made for some king from Saudi Arabia with solid gold or something. And okay, Victor, you're talking too long about the butt, buddy. Look at this, man. This is the new Abu Garcia Barbados or Barbados prototype. This is a $400 rod. Also, look what they put on the butt. They put a goddamn knob from the handle of a fishing reel. Now, there is nothing wrong with the functionality of this butt. Zero. For what I care, probably works just as good as the one I showed you. But if you pay $400 for a rod, isn't it a little bit? Do you have like some expectations for the looks as well? Not everybody does, I know, but I'm weird like that. Okay, let's move on. Moving on to the reel seats. Same story. Looks super expensive. Incredible attention to detail. Note that the 7'6" locks from the bottom, and all of the shorter models, they lock from the top. I don't know what difference that makes. I will say right away, this is, as of right now, the most comfortable handle or grip or reel seat. When I say reel seat, I'm also talking about how well the reel is attached. Actually, it's number one in terms of that as well. You know, for a rod that is so light, you have no idea how solid and thick these nuts are. They feel like metal. I don't know what they're made of, but they feel solid and thick, and they feel metal. And when you start, you know, screwing this nut around the reel seat, man, this feels so solid. I can fish catfish and carp with this reel seat. This is how solid it is. And again, expensive rods, solid reel seat, not the case at all. All of these, if I show you this is a very thin piece of plastic. All of these are real flimsy. I mean, this is I don't really blame them, and I don't say that as a negative, because this is the price of crazy low weight. Something has to give. And these rods are all significantly lighter than the Shimano rods. but this is not just net benefit. Severe price was paid for this low weight in terms of functionality, aesthetics, safety on the water, and a bunch of other things. I'm gonna talk more about that in another video. But this reel seat grabs the reel, super strong, super confidence inspiring. And this grip, my gosh, there is nothing that compares to this grip, folks. The Apple Garcia Carabas Extreme that I had a very similar shape on top, and it was also very comfy, but it was cork. And cork is a little bit softer. This thing is carbon. I mean, once you hold this in your hand, the contact between your hand and this, I don't know if it can be even improved, folks. As of right now, this is the best reel seat, the best grip in the world, and there is nothing close. And again, the copy monkeys, I don't know how they're gonna copy this, because I'm sure Shimano patented the hell out of it. But this stuff here is all a joke in terms of comfort and in terms of sensitivity. I will tell you, even though these are super supposedly performance, maybe these are still overall more sensitive rods, but this grip, even this guy here, how can you compare the fully carbon contact that this grip provides with this stuff? Where is the grip here? But you're never gonna touch nothing here. Look where the blank is. So, okay, I don't wanna delve anymore on the grip. The best in the world, no competition. One word about the reel. I do not consider the Shimano Soare reel on the same level as this rod. The Soare reel is very nice. A review coming up on that reel very soon. I don't want to give away too much, but that reel is 1 or 2 levels lower than this rod. If you buy these rods, I recommend buying a reel with a metal frame, and it would have to be a magnesium frame. But go for Vanquish or Stella or Exist LT. The new and the old Luvias Arity would also go very nice with the big one. I will say this: if you have this reel, the 2017 Daiwa Presso Limited, just go ahead and buy one of the super ultralight models of this rod. Even the Daiwa Presso rods, even the $600 Daiwa Presso rods, are not gonna feel and look as good as this combo. When you hold this in your hand, you don't want to ever hold anything else ever again. Going up the blank now, there is a hook keeper. I'm tired of these JDM rods without a hook keeper. It's half a gram, maybe 1 gram. Give me a damn hook keeper. I keep buying these cheap plastic things. It looks ridiculous. I end up having the 1 gram on the rod anyway. What's the problem? Give me a hook keeper. So we do have a folding hook keeper here. The blanks, folk, I mean, they look shiny and amazing all the way up. And I have to say all the way up because my Beleza over here, the Abu Garcia blanks, nothing shiny, nothing nice. They have no paint. To save weight, again, I understand it. There is a trade-off there. They didn't put paint, clear coat, anything to save weight. The Beleza does have a nice shiny blank, okay, for 10 centimeters. That's it. Okay, 10 cents, beautiful blank from here to here. Some blink here on the handle also. Some blink here. So you have maybe 25 centimeters of blink. And then you go to There is something here a little bit, but then you go to the same blank. No paint, no nothing, just matte color blank. I mean, these rods look so much alike that it's very difficult to tell them which is which when you look at this here. The same blank, the same guides. You gotta tell them by looking at the handles. Even here, they're struggling to find separation. You can see this grip on 1,000 other rods. You can see this grip on 1,000 other rods. This, of course, looks even cheaper, if not the cork here. This blank, folks, looks like this all the way up on the tubular model. On the super ultralight, because it has a solid tip, the top 3-4 guides will look, let me see if I can show you. The top 4 guides, see the bling ends here, and then it will look black, but you still have clear coat. So, and this one, the 7'6", because it's tubular tip, it has the same amazing surface all the way up to the tip. When we go up to the guides, the same thing, unique look, amazing look, looks like, I don't know, it looks like simple stainless steel wire bent super elegantly without any hard corners anywhere, without any hard angles. Look at these curves here. Looks just super expensive. Now I believe, I couldn't find information about this, so let me know if you know for sure detail about these guides. I believe these are hollow. They're still titanium, but they are hollow, which improves significantly the rigidity of the guide. One problem with these torzite guides, I like them, don't get me wrong, but because they are so thin, they are not very rigid. Look how easy this flexes. Sometimes I wonder if a stainless steel guide wouldn't be better here. These are titanium, these are the best guides in the world. These are all very soft and flexy. Not these guys. This thing is rigid. I'm here to tell you this thing is rigid. If you try to bend this, it will probably break, but it will not bend. Do not bend these guides. Now the inner side of the circle is not just the titanium wire. There is special hardened and treated surface on the inside that's put on top of the wire. You can kind of see where it's put here. I'm zooming so hard so you guys can see this. But when you're looking from here, it looks like just one piece. I mean, it looks so sleek and elegant. I mean, to me, it's a breath of fresh air. I mean, I like these guides, but they're the same on every single Japanese rod has this guide. Show me one rod that doesn't have this guide. One. So yeah, I love these guides. I don't know how much they weigh. Now, as you go up the rods, the Shimano Soare, which I absolutely love, the first guide has the same diameter as the competition. They vary slightly. I would say the super ultralight, the 6 foot, actually has a slightly smaller diameter than the Abu Garcia and the Belleza. These are the Abu Garcia and the Belleza. The prototype has even smaller. This is the smallest first guide I've seen, but this is a 38 gram rod. So it has to have a ridiculously small guide. But these 3 rods here that you see, they have micro guides as you go up top. They get ridiculously tiny as you go all the way up top. The inner diameter of the ring will be 1 millimeter. These guides here, they're very small too. You see, they start the same size, but they never go down to 1 millimeter. As you go up, Even the smallest guides will have 2 millimeters. I love that. Give me at least 2 millimeters. This is what I like about Shimano and Daiwa. When they go lightweight, they still remain reasonable. Not absurd here with some of this exotic tackle. So guides, I give the guides just 10 out of 10 on looks. I'm sure it's 10 out of 10 on sensitivity too. The weight might be a little bit more than these guides. I don't know, maybe 5% more. They do seem just slightly more mass here and they're slightly larger up top. But I think whatever the weight difference is, it's absolutely worth it. To give you an idea of the difference in weight, this rod here is, I think 63 grams. The Abu Garcia Eradicator is 54, this one is 50, and this one is 38 grams. So it is a few grams extra, but it's not like they have inferior components. They just have more stuff. The entire blank has clear coat. The entire blank. I can flip a fish with this. You still have to not be stupid when you flip fish, but I can flip a fish with either of these rods. Definitely I can flip a fish with the 7'6". But yeah, let me try to show you the actions now and why did I buy 2 of them. The action of the 6-foot super ultralight is exactly what you would expect from a rod with these specifications. The power of the blank is exactly super ultralight. The blank is only 6 millimeter thick all the way at the handle. This is the thinnest blank at the handle that I have. You can see how easy it flexes all the way at the handle when you load it. And also because the rod is a solid tip, you know, it comes with the unpleasant for me extra fast action. I really prefer this rod had the tubular tip of my Eradicators, but then the rod would be perfect and there wouldn't be any sense of buying anything else on the market. Maybe one day Shimano will make this rod with a tubular tip and I will buy it right away. Now the 7'6" rod has a tubular tip. This rod has 11 models and the 7'6" is the only tubular tip model in the entire 11 model lineup. And that's precisely why that was the first rod that I bought. I hate solid tips. I hate them all. And you can see right away the difference that the tubular tip makes compared to the solid tip. The action is just visibly more parabolic and just visibly slower, which for me I much prefer. I have no problem with the top half of the rod. It's a normal fast action tubular tip ultralight power top half of a rod. My problem is with the first half, the bottom half of the rod, which for me was just a little bit too stiff for pan fishing. Now, because this rod is so long, it is 7'6", if Shimano made the bottom half of the rod soft enough for me to like it, that would make the rod wobbly. And most people in United States and in Japan don't like wobbly. So I completely understand why Shimano stiffened up the bottom half of the rod, and all of these rods that I see that are 7'6" or 8 foot, when I look at the blanks, they are very thick and I can tell they are very stiff at the first half of the rod. But I just took a shot, then when I received the rod, it was a little bit too stiff for me indeed. So I'll probably sell this rod and I'm gonna keep the super ultralight. But I still haven't decided actually, because when I fished it, it really wasn't as bad as I expected. Alright folks, I'm gonna end this video here, but don't forget that I'm gonna record another video with my fishing impressions of the rod. And I'll record that video from my boat, so if you're interested in this rod, look out for that video. Thanks for watching this one and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.